Additionally, we want to keyframe the rotation of our tires. So we're going to go ahead and F on the keyboard, find our vehicle here, and for the front rotation of the tires, it's also keyframed on this steering node that we have set up, as you recall. There is one thing that I want to cover with you on the steering node. Because it's a dual purpose node, let's go ahead and take it back to 0. Because it's a dual purpose node, or controller, it allows our wheels to turn. I don't know if you can see that in the capture. Turns our wheels, as well as turning our steering. Then we need to make sure that the order of the rotation is set correctly. Now, this particular order is set to X, Y, Z, and the reason for that is we're going to be rotating around our y-axis to steer. We're going to be rotating around our x-axis to have the wheels turning, and we've locked out our z-axis. But if we wanted to, we could in fact rig that in as well. If you were going to be breaking a tire off, you would need that axis functioning as well. So the rotation order is actually very important for these types of controllers, making sure that it's set up correctly so that you have full functionality and it's working properly for you. So you would find rotate order here in the attribute editor and select on the controller. And you can see by the blue, those are the lockdown values that we've already done for this controller. We still have rotate X and Y that have values available, and one of them has keyframes on that. So in order to know what rotation order you need to have on this particular node, of course you need to know the functionality of it first, which we've just discussed, but you also need to know how that affects the rotation. If I came down here to YZX, you would see that I could rotate in the x-axis. Then if I came in here and started to rotate in the y, or around the x-axis, first around the y and then around the x, you can see that the draw order is out of place, so you're not going to get the rotation on that you're looking for. You're going to get something that looks like broken tires. So it's really important to make sure that you have your draw order correct first. In this case, we're going with ZXY, so that because we're not using Z, when we use our X and then our Y, it functions properly. Okay, because X is recognized first and then Y. But you can see that that's working properly now. Alright. So back to the rotation of the tires. Now that we have our rotation order correct, we want to rotate the tires as well as have our steering on this. The way that we do that is what I have typically done in the past is go from 0 to 359 degrees within 10 to 20 frames depending on the speed of the vehicle, and then simply rotating it back. Now you can see that I've already set that up on the back tire, and so when the back tire animates, it goes going to be hard to follow. It goes, it rotates around its axis 359 degrees, and then it begins to rotate back. But at this speed, you really can't tell the difference which way it's going. So you go ahead and set up the rotation of your tires in that way, and have manageable curves. So I already put the rotation on the back tire, and we can select our front node and do the same thing.